guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody is doing well. I just want to come on here real quick. Not too long tonight. I know it's late for a lot of people. Dave, I know Dave is here and Dandy is here. Dave, be careful driving and listening. See who else. Hi, Dandy. How are you doing? It's good to see y'all in here. I just want to touch real quick tonight on if you're new here, if you're in the chat or watching replay, welcome to Southern Gal True Crime. I share missing persons, cold cases, and current true crime in the news. So if that is something that you're interested in, you can always subscribe while you're here. Like, share, check out my playlist for all my cases that I've and missing persons that I've shared. In February, I will have my channel will have been up for a year. So, yay for me. Now, I'm just a small little channel, just trying to do my part and trying to bring attention to some of these missing persons and cold cases that don't get a lot of the national attention that the bigger cases get. Not that the bigger cases and those victims aren't important, but I like to like I said, bring attention to the cases that don't get mentioned a lot or widely, national exposure. So that is my goal. Like I said, Dandy is here. Hey, Dandy, good to see you. I said, Dave's here. He says he's driving and listening. Dave drives a lot. I don't know what you do for a living, but it must include driving. And I think this is the first time I've had time to say anything to you in person, but you're still in my thoughts and prayers, Betty. I hope you're doing all right. Thanks, Dave. Dave said I'm doing great. Hey, I'm doing my best. Like I said, tonight was just kind of an impromptu thing because we're going to talk a little bit about the Savanah, Soto, and Matthew Guerra case from Texas. I'd kind of known about it just from what they'd shown here on the local news, but I hadn't really kept up with what was going on. And then I was actually already in bed, laying down last night, fixing to go to sleep, when my phone started going off with all my YouTube notifications. So I picked it up and I noticed all these creators, true crime creators that I watch, were going live and with breaking news. And I was like, what's going on? So of course I had to look, and I saw that there had been 2 arrests made in the case. So of course I was up till about 2 o'clock this morning watching them, because I think Chris from the Mob Crew did a live, and Duty Ron, if you've ever watched Duty Ron with Ed, they did a live too, with the perp walk and everything. So I was like, wow, and this, I didn't have time to go live or make a video today for it. I've been busy. So I said, well, I'll just do a little short live tonight and kind of go over it. Just give some of the, first of all, just give some of the details for, like I said, anybody who may be in chat or watching the replay who doesn't really know a lot of the details about this case. And I was one of them. I still am to an extent. And since Dave is here, the second case we're going to touch on, the case from Edna, Texas, where the 16-year-old cheerleader life was taken. I think Dave, for that, he brought that to my attention because I was watching one of his lives one night. I think when the case was breaking, when they just shortly after it happened, I was watching one of his late night lives that he does. But since then, I hadn't really had a chance to check up on that. But I found an article about it, so I'll read a little bit from it too. All right, so I think I got. Get my slides going. I made just a little slideshow. So this is Savanah, Soto, and Matthew Guerra. This is the Texas case. Sorry, I'm trying to get my computer's not cooperating with me. Savanah, Soto, Matthew Guerra. We'll just go over a short little timeline, and then I have a short video clip from one of the news stations that gives the details about the arrest last night, and some of the information that was, I think it was from the probable cause affidavit. So on December 25th, police issued, and on one of those websites where it wants you to sign in so you can continue reading. So forgive me. Hey, Junior Johnson, good to see you here. It's always good to have you here. I'm still working on that D. Warner case, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing my live tomorrow night on the because I'm working on all the cases that my viewers have requested and or suggested that I do. And tomorrow night's live will be the Diamond Bynum and King Walker case. I can't remember. I think maybe Michelle C. Requested that one. I'm not sure. But Junior D. Warner will be the next. And I was reading an article, reading some articles about that, and I think they have arrested maybe her husband for it, but I'm going to have to look into it. I'll get it worked up, and that will definitely be my next one. All right, so we will get back to, if it will let me. This comes from the San Antonio Express News. So on December 25th, police issued a missing person alert for Savanah Soto, 18, who was expecting her first child. And to me, this is just what makes this case, it's horrible anyway, but what makes it just over the top horrible is that Savanah was 9 months pregnant. She was going to be, I think the day that she disappeared, the next day, she was they were going to induce labor because she was past her due date. So this case is just, the more I read into it and the more information I found out about it, it's just, it breaks my heart so bad. Okay, so 2 days later, she and her boyfriend Matthew Guerra were found deceased. I should have found another website to read from because this one's driving me crazy. So here's just a rundown of the timeline. So Friday, December 22nd. So this is what's confusing, and other creators have mentioned this, is just like according to this article, it says that Savanah is last seen around 2 p.m. on Friday, December 22nd. But when I was listening to or watching the little news brief they gave after the perp walk they did last night, they said that Savanah and Matthew were actually, their lives were taken after midnight on the 21st. And so that's very confusing. Everybody and all the other creators I've watched have been trying to figure out if he just gave the wrong date or what the deal is with that. But, and also the issue of if there was another person in the truck, because if you watch the video, the surveillance video, it looks like that somebody throws a towel to the gentleman, the big gentleman that gets out of the truck. But last night on when the law enforcement was given, they said they weren't looking for any more suspects, but everybody has a general consensus that they think that there was somebody else in that truck. And maybe they know who it is and they haven't found them, or they do have them and they're just not giving the name. So that's another mystery to this case. But anyway, we will continue. So, like I said, according to this, Savanah was last seen around 2 p.m. at an apartment complex where she and Matthew lived. in Leon Valley. She was reported to be in a gray 2013 Kia Optima, which is the car that is seen on the surveillance video. A car later identified as belonging to her boyfriend, Matthew. Oh my goodness. I had to find another site to read from. Come on. Sorry, this site sucks. It keeps making me want to sign in. As I said, Savanah was pregnant with the first child, who she planned to name Fabian. Family members called Leon Valley police to request that they visit Savanah's apartment to driving me crazy. This site. To do a welfare check, I think is what they said. They saw no sign of forced entry, determined there was no grounds for concern. Saturday, December 23rd, Savanah is supposed to check in at Stone Oak Methodist Hospital at 6:30 a.m. so they could induce labor. She does not show up, does not answer her phone that evening. Her mother, Gloria Cordova, posted a message to Facebook pleading for help to help find Savanah. So Saturday through Monday, December 23rd and 25th, Savanah's family members spend the weekend and Christmas Day. It's so sad too, makes it even more sad. It was during the holidays. Searching the Grissom Road apartment complex for signs of Savanah. They put up missing persons posters. And Monday on Christmas Day, the Texas Department of Public Safety issued a coordinated law enforcement adult rescue clear alert, which I think around here, down in these parts, we call it a silver alert. It's for adults. For Savanah, saying that she's believed to be in imminent danger. Tuesday, December 26th, shortly after 4 p.m., 2 people are found deceased in Matthew, who is her boyfriend's car, which is parked at the Colinas at Medical Apartments on Danny K Drive in Northwest San Antonio, which is about 3 miles from where Savanah was last seen. Family members are heard sobbing as San Antonio Police Chief William McManus arrives at the scene and briefs them on the discovery. So I cannot imagine. Thoughts and prayers going out to both families, to Matthew and Savanah's families. McManus tells reporters that although the bodies have not been positively identified, quote, we believe they are those of Savanah and Matthew. He said the bodies may have been in the car for 3 or 4 days. He says police are investigating the case as a possible homicide and calls the crime scene, quote, very complex and very, very perplexing. But he declined to elaborate on that. Wednesday, December 27th, the San Antonio Police Department describes the case as capital M and lists 3 victims, an 18-year-old Hispanic woman, a 22-year-old Hispanic man, and an, quote, unborn child deceased. And that would be little Fabian. In a terse statement released Wednesday morning, San Antonio PD says the man and woman found in the car both suffered GSWs. The medical examiner's office will conduct an investigation to determine COD and confirmation of the victims' identities. This investigation remained ongoing. The statement said police offer no details as to a motive for the crimes or any possible suspects. On Wednesday night, SAPD issued an update saying the medical examiner has positively identified the 22-year-old Hispanic man as Matthew Guerra. Quote, we are still awaiting positive identification for the female victim. Also, Wednesday, Guerra's family goes to social media to denounce rumors that they were involved in the couple's disappearance and deaths. Sorry, the site keeps wanting me to sign in again. Luckily, I only have to hit one button to sign in, but still very aggravating. I'll know not to use this site again. Come on. I'm going to go back and find where I was at. Okay. Okay, so as the Guerra family goes on social media, says they didn't have anything to do with the disappearance and deaths. Savanah's family has said that Guerra had a history, allegedly had a history of DV against Savanah. Earlier this year, Guerra pleaded guilty to a charge of DV and causing bodily injury. I hate the site, I'm telling you. Oh, goodness. Once we get through this one, the other site hopefully won't do it. Okay. So Guerra's we know now have nothing to do with it. Thursday, December 28th, the Bexar County Medical Examiner confirms that Savanah was the 18-year-old woman that was found in the car, and that both she and Guerra were killed by GSW to the head. In Guerra's case, they said it was a contact GSW, which means it was very close range. And I think I don't know if it was law enforcement may have thought in the beginning, because of the contact wound that Matthew had, that it could possibly have been a self-inflicted kind of thing. But of course, we know now that it definitely was not. Sorry, trying to get through this on this site. Okay, and I think I have no, that's not what I wanted. I just have a couple of slides of the surveillance videos. Oh my goodness, the site. I'm so sorry, y'all. I will know. Don't ever use San Antonio Express News website because it wants you to sign in every 2 minutes. Let's see who else has come in. Junior Johnson says Chris McDonough from the interview room and another private detective had a lot to do with the Warner's husband getting arrested. They've been to Adrian a few times. Oh, so like I said, I still got to look further into the D. Warner case. But do you think they're railroading the husband, or in your opinion, or for anything, since you're close to this, whatever you can tell me about it, let me know. Let's see. Hey, Karen Lee, good to have you here. It's always good to have y'all here. Seeing lots of familiar names. Dandelinis, I think I mentioned her, but I don't mean, I don't mind mentioning y'all 2 or 3 times. Okay, all right, let me get back to here while it'll let me read. Oh, no, now, shoot. I went to the wrong. I'm just not with it tonight, y'all. I don't have my stuff together tonight. Okay, all right. Let me hurry and get down here to where I was at. So we talked about that. So December 26th, San Antonio PD asked for the public's help in identifying 2 persons of interest seen on security video, and that's one of the pictures of the security video. That is the two vehicles, the black truck and the Kia. And then that second one is the one of the people that were arrested last night, the large man that got out of the truck. Seen on security video at the Colinas at Medical Apartments where the bodies were found. In the undated video, two vehicles are seen pulling up side by side in a parking lot. One is a Chevy Silverado pickup. The other is Matthew Guerra's Kia. The driver of the pickup gets out and hands something to the driver of the Kia. And I don't know, there's debate about what that was. A lot of people say it's a towel, and they were maybe wiping it down to get rid of fingerprints or DNA. The driver of the pickup gets out and hands something. Okay, the two men speak briefly before driving off in different directions. It is unclear where Matthew and Savanah are at the time of the video was recorded, or whether they were alive. And we do know now that when this video was taken, Matthew and Savanah and little baby Fabian were deceased already, and they were in the car. So that just makes it even more chilling to see these the video and just these pictures. In releasing the video, the San Antonio PD encouraged anyone with information about the scene to call the homicide unit. Said you can remain anonymous. Says the video was captured. Video happened a few days before the Kia was discovered at the Colinas at Medical Apartments with the bodies of Soto and Guerra inside. Investigators believe the two their lives were taken elsewhere, and the car was brought to the apartment complex to be abandoned. On Friday December 29th, the medical examiner says the manner of death for both was homicide, and the determination rules out the self-inflicted, which was a possibility that police had initially considered. All right, so I think I'm done with the sites. On yesterday, January 3rd, two people were arrested. Okay, let's see. Junior says Billy Little was the other detective in the D. Warner case. Is that one you're talking about? I'll write that down. All right, so if I can get the video to go, video file. Oh, it's gonna make me download. I thought I already had it downloaded.
The big.
Oh, there it is.
Arrived at the Preciado's house. The father said he.
Let me go back to the first. Come on. Sorry.
The big story today, of course, are the arrests of a father and son in connection to the deaths of Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn baby.
Tiffany Huertas joins us now with some new details that we're learning about the murders and the arrests. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that's right. Thanks to these arrest affidavits, we know more information, and we've learned more about what led to Savanah and Matthew's deaths and the arrest of 19-year-old Christopher Preciado, who San Antonio police believe is the couple's killer, and his father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado, who police believe helped hide the bodies. This is the latest of what we've learned about this case. Savanah's family reported her missing to Leon Valley Police on Friday, December 22nd. But San Antonio police have now told us that Savanah and Matthew were killed just before midnight on Thursday, December 21st. SAPD found their bodies 5 days later at an apartment complex on Danny K, in Matthew's car in the parking lot. But police say the complex has no connection to the murders. It's just where the bodies were left. We've been showing the surveillance video that SAPD released last Thursday, but police say the key piece of evidence that led them to the Preciados was Soto's cell phone that was found with the bodies. After following leads for a couple of days, police were eventually led to the Preciados' residence. When officers arrived at the Preciado's house, the father said he knew why they were there, and he and his son were taken into custody. According to the affidavit, 19-year-old Christopher Preciado said Matthew and Savanah drove to his house on Charlie Chan Drive to sell him marijuana, and that Matthew initially pointed a gun at him. However, the investigation states that Christopher's version of events were inconsistent with gunshot wounds to Savanah and Matthew. He claims he wrestled the gun away from both victims and shot them in self-defense. Now, as for the father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado admitted to driving his truck to the apartment complex after the murders and being the person on the surveillance video. He also placed Christopher as the driver of the vehicle, believed to have belonged to Matthew. Now that the two men are in custody, SAPD says they are working with the Bexar County District Attorney's Office to determine if there will be any further charges since Savanah was pregnant and about to give birth. Also mentioned in the affidavit was that police learned Matthew Guerra was known to sell drugs and used his phone and Instagram to sell them, and that he had been the target of robberies and shootings before. As for the suspects, we checked records this morning, and 19-year-old Christopher Preciado has no criminal history that we've been able to find. The father, Ramon Preciado, did have some criminal history, but nothing since the 90s. And we're continuing to learn more information this morning. We also learned that Ramon Preciado's bond was set at $100,000, and his son, Christopher, has also been set at $1 million. We're going to continue following this story, and we'll bring you the latest online and on KSAT right here.
Tiffany, thank you.
Keep up to date with all of
All right, that was the video. Just I can't even remember where the video was from, but anyway, of just the arrest of the father and son, Christopher Preciado and Ramon Preciado. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right. At least they've arrested somebody. Hey, Michelle C., glad you're here. I was wondering if you were going to be here or not. Good to have you here, dear. We're just going over the two arrests that were made last night in the homicides of Savanah, Soto, and Matthew Guerra. And one thing when I was watching this news clip is, and then last night, I think they also mentioned it during the press briefing, that Christopher, the son with the long hair, had no history, any criminal history that they knew of. Or, I mean, they would know if he did. That surprises me because, I mean, somebody, and once again, he's innocent unless proven guilty. Somebody who would do something so horrible as to not only take the lives of two people, but also a female that was 9 months pregnant. You can't tell me that he may not have taken the lives of anyone before, but you can't tell me that he has not been involved in criminal activity. I could be completely wrong. That's just my opinion. You guys let me know what y'all think. But when, I was expecting, if they gave details about any criminal history, I was expecting both the father and the son to have, rap sheets a mile long. But evidently, just because you don't have, anything in the system does not mean you have not committed crimes. It just means that you have just not got caught until now. Yes, I agree. Dandy Linus says it's the most horrendous thing a person can do, in my opinion. Absolutely. It is just, I just cannot imagine. I mean, for one, I can't imagine taking anybody's life in the first place. But to take the life of a woman 9 months pregnant, the baby, Fabian, little boy, they already had him named. It's just, oh God, it just breaks my heart. It just eats at me the more that I read about this case. And, and no matter what no matter what the situation was, what they were doing when this happened, nobody deserves to eat, because I've heard some people making comments, well, they shouldn't have been doing this, shouldn't have been doing that. It doesn't matter. They may not have been, should have been doing, in some people's opinion, what they were allegedly doing. That's still absolutely no excuse, no reason to take anybody's life, much less the life of a pregnant woman and a baby, an unborn baby, and the male, Matthew. It's horrible. It just eats me up. It really does. Let's see if I've missed any comments. Michelle C, if you're still here, you were the one that requested that I do the Diamond Bynum and King Walker case? I can't remember if it was you or Dandelions or both. But in any case, tomorrow night's live, that is the case that I'm going to be doing, is Diamond Bynum and King Walker, because I had some time to research it and work it up yesterday and day before, and to look into all the details and the timeline. And it's just, I'd known a little bit about it. I'd heard about it, but when I got to reading the details, there are so many things that bother me about this case. About the way, and no, not putting any blame on anybody or any institution, but there was just, in my opinion, it's just some of the things that were done or not done bother me a whole lot. But so yeah, tomorrow I will be the live, and the live will be earlier. It will be an hour earlier, start an hour earlier tomorrow night. It will be 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So maybe y'all can more people can stay awake, and it will be on a Friday. And I know some people do work on Saturdays. I used to work on Saturdays with the job that I just quit a month ago. But hopefully it'll be a little bit earlier time, and more people can come in and stay up and hear about this case. Is somebody calling Dandy Randy? That's funny. Oh, and I want to go back to, I saw a comment, because I made a comment about Dave is always saying that he was driving and listening. And where is that comment? Here it is. Dave says, I drive all night. I take care of the owls. I want to know about the owls. I've always noticed that you had an owl on your profile picture. Don't drive and type or whatever you're doing, because I don't want you to have a wreck. But if you get a chance, what do you do with the owls? Because I love critters, all kinds of critters except for spiders. I don't like spiders or bugs. I won't go out of my way to kill them unless they come at me. But yeah, I would be interested to know what you do with the owls, because I love owls. They're so interesting, so beautiful. Okay, so mentioning Dave, the next story that I was going to touch on, actually, I mentioned earlier, but in case you weren't here, in case anybody wasn't here, the next story I'm going to touch on, I first heard about this when I was watching one of Dave's late night lives, when this story, I believe, was just breaking. So I can owe this story or knowing about this case to Dave. So if you haven't heard, this comes from Edna, Texas, a 16-year-old cheerleader, and I forgot her name already. Elizabeth Medina, her life was taken. And like I said earlier, I don't need a drink. Oh, Dave. Dave said, Mr. Steve loves spiders. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're being just a little bit sarcastic there. I think I've heard Mr. Steve talk about his aversion to spiders. I agree, Dandy. Dandy Linus says, I don't mind them as long as they aren't on me. Yes. And we have, because I live out in the country, so we have all kinds of critters that try to come in. We found snakes in the house, which I can handle snakes. Snakes don't bother me. But spiders, so we have the big old, we call them wolf spiders or brown spiders, and some of them, I swear, are as big around as my head. And as long as I don't see them, or if I see them and they're going away from me, I'll try to do my best to leave them alone. But if they're coming, if they're charging at me, sorry, you got to go, buddy. No, I don't want any spider or any kind of bugs coming at me. But anyway, all right. So back to the cheerleader case. Elizabeth Medina, she was only 16 years old. She was from Edna, Texas. And this is the first, like I said, since I watched Dave's live, and he was when this story is breaking, this is really the first time I've had a chance to go check up on it. And found out some very interesting stuff. And this comes from ABC 13 news website. Says a man accused of taking the life of 16-year-old Edna cheerleader showed, quote, stalking-like behavior, affidavit says. So once again, we have a stalker situation. A man charged with capital M in the death of a 16-year-old cheerleader in Jackson County, Texas, had been stalking her up until the night before her life was taken, according to an affidavit. ABC News obtained the affidavit with the assistance of the local newspaper, the Victoria Advocate. According to the document, the suspect, Rafael Govea Romero, 23, reportedly exhibited stalking-like behavior before allegedly stabbing Elizabeth Medina. When I have a slide, I forgot to. Okay. No. Okay, so there's a slide. There's Elizabeth on the left, and the alleged offender, Rafael Govea Romero, there on the right. Elizabeth is on the left. Okay, lost in place. The document revealed that on the night of December 4th, one day before Elizabeth was found unresponsive, a surveillance camera reportedly caught a man driving through the Cottonwood Apartments complex parking lot in a silver car around 10 p.m. A month before the crime, on November 13th, there was a burglary at the same apartment to which officials said they believed Romero was connected. Right, and I have another slide. And he, before Romero's arrest, the Edna Police Department released surveillance images, which you see here on the screen, of an unidentified man in a silver Ford Taurus wearing a black hooded sweatshirt fleeing the area. Officers responded to the complex around 7 p.m. on December 5th after, and this is, to me, aside from the crime, the most horrible part about this, after Elizabeth's mother, Jacqueline, found Elizabeth inside the bathtub. And trigger warning for anybody, I'm not going to be too graphic, but her mother found her inside the bathtub, bloodied and soaking wet, according to officials. Elizabeth's mother said that she did not attend a town event with her cheer squad just hours before, and she had been absent from school. According to the affidavit, the teen was stabbed in her upper stomach area and seemed to have been washed shortly after. Maybe to get rid of potential DNA or evidence. That's just be my assumption. A preliminary autopsy on December 8th said the teen's COD was sharp force injuries, so most likely edged weapon. During an investigation, officials said they could not locate Elizabeth's phone. The next day, on December 6th, the victim's cousin told police that someone opened a Snapchat message that he had sent to Elizabeth. From there, it was believed by officials that Romero, who is the alleged offender, had stolen Elizabeth's phone on the day of the crime. On December 9th, Saturday at 6 p.m., Elizabeth's boyfriend and friend told police that they both received a reply from Elizabeth's phone after sending a message. And this, I'm assuming by the way it's worded, that this was after she was deceased. That Saturday, on the same day as family and friends were holding a candlelight vigil for Elizabeth, officials requested an emergency order to locate the victim's phone. The device pinged an hour from Edna in Schulenburg, Texas, where officials discovered a silver Ford Taurus seen in earlier released surveillance images at the residence. And I can't see, I think there is a picture of the car in the slide there. Officials identified Romero as the suspect inside the home and took him into custody. Police discovered that he had some items belonging to the victim and her mother. I wonder what he would take from her mother. That was her mother's. Unless maybe jewelry or something of value. The affidavit, after an interview with police, the affidavit stated Romero made a full confession. It's always good to get a confession. New information later revealed that Romero was undocumented with an expired visa. He was booked into the Jackson County Jail and charged with capital M, officials said. Romero was since granted a $2 million bond. So just another very sad case. And it's ironic that both of these cases are from Texas. Another beautiful young girl, had everything going for her, and due to this alleged stalker. And I need to study up, or if anybody in chat watching or replay knows, I haven't read if the police know or have released any information about if they had made any connection, or know if Elizabeth and this Romero, the alleged offender, had any kind of connection, that had known each other, or if it was just, like I said, he was stalking from afar and they really didn't have any kind of connection, a close connection. Sorry, off topic, but Danny Lina says, I love danger noodles. What are danger noodles? What did I miss? Once again, that sounds like the name of an 80s metal band. If Dave's listening, he'll get that. Crocodile heave, Dave. Crocodile heave. Sorry, inside joke. I can explain it if anybody wants to know. Oh, of course, Dave says that he loves spiders. Yeah, like I said, I used to, if I saw a spider, I would kill it. But like I said, as long as it's away from me and going the opposite way, away from me, or if I don't see it, I'll leave them alone. But if they start coming towards me, and I'll try to do my best to scare them away. But if they keep coming at me, I'm not going to let them get that close to me. All right, what else do we got? Junior says, I freak out about snakes. Yeah, snakes. I mean, I have held, of course, living out in the country. I know poisonous snakes and the non-poisonous and blah, blah, blah. Freaks. Snakes don't freak me out. I've held, actually, was an alpine boa, or an alpine. I can't talk tonight. It's getting late, and it's only just 9:45 Central Time here. It's not that late. An albino python, or a boa constrictor one. I've held one of those. And I was hesitant at first, though, to hold the snake, but because people always say, oh, they're slimy and yucky, but they're not. They're actually soft. At least the one that I held was. It was beautiful. Like I said, it was an albino. It was like a pale yellow, white. So pretty. But yeah, and we have what we call chicken snakes or black snakes. We keep those around, of course, because they keep the rat and population down and the mouse population down. Ooh, Dandy says, my neighbor has a 10-foot python he takes to the common area to sunbathe. It's beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. And ever since I was a little kid, I know this is off topic, but that's okay. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. When I was a little kid, and I haven't been to the zoo in years, but even as a little kid, my favorite part of the zoo was what they called the snake house. They had this building that had all kinds of snakes in it. They had pythons. They had, any kind of snake you could think of. And that's always where I wanted to go to first. I could just spend the whole time in the snake house and looking at the snakes, and I still could. Yeah, Dandy Linus says she's beautiful. Are you talking about Elizabeth? Yeah. Junior says pretty girl. Yeah, just 16 years old. Just let me go back to if I can without messing stuff up. Yeah, there she is. And actually, I'm gonna go to the picture of all the victims that we talked about tonight. On the left is Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and little baby Fabian, and then on the right there is Elizabeth Medina. All beautiful, beautiful people, beautiful souls, and it's so sad. Oh, okay. So Dandy said danger noodles is what I call snakes. Okay, I got you. But to me, it still sounds like a 80s metal band, hair band. Danger Noodles. There was actually an 80, and I don't know how old y'all guys are. Y'all probably, half of you are probably not old enough to remember the 80s hair bands or glam bands, whatever you want to call them. There was a group called Danger Danger. It wasn't Danger Noodles, but it was Danger Danger. Dave's laughing at something. Who knows what Dave is laughing at? Dave. We love Dave. And of course, all of y'all here probably already know Dave has a channel. He covers true crime, breaking news, True Crime Weekly. He usually does his lives really, really late at night or early in the morning, wherever you want to call it. So definitely go check out Dave. He is in my very special section at the I don't know what I'm trying to say. Go to the homepage of my channel, scroll down to where it says visit our friends below. Dave's link is there. Only very special people get their links put in my section. There's only 4 right now. Of course, we have Mr. and Mrs. Steve, True Crime Web. I've got Chris, the Mob Crew, Carolyn, Unearthed Secrets, and of course Dave is in there. Oh yeah, Dandy, I think we were talking maybe in another chat about the 80s. Dandy says, I grew up in the 80s. Good times. Yes, ma'am. Right there. The 80s. And I got to go back into my, on December 30th, on New Year's Eve, I celebrated a night early with Mr. Brett Michaels. Went to a Brett Michaels concert, went down the road a few miles to Hot Springs, because I live in Arkansas. So in Hot Springs, Arkansas, we have Oaklawn horse racing track, and a few years ago they put in a casino with an entertainment center, and he came to the casino entertainment center and put on a concert. Very, very good. Yes, Dave. I knew Dave would get it, would remember Crocodile Heave. Oh gosh, I'm telling you, anybody in here, Dave, me and Dave, and anybody else who can or can't sing or play an instrument, we are going to form a band, an 80s retro metal band called Crocodile Heave. So, oh goodness, that just cracks me up. And if you don't know where Crocodile Heave comes from, I will tell the story if anybody wants to hear it. We're only an hour in. when actually it came from once again, Dave's lives. We were watching reports about the Vander Ark case, the lady, once again, a horrible case that had the son that was autistic, and he was basically starved. I can't remember. Shame on me for not remembering. I can't remember if he's still alive or if he passed. But anyway, she was during her trial or during the sentencing or something. They showed her a picture. He was, how old was he, Dave? Don't answer if you're driving. In his 20s maybe, and he was only 69 pounds. Anyway, they showed his mother a picture, and she turned around. And apparently, there was a wastebasket, and she bent down, and you've heard of crocodile tears, where the guy that was reporting Vinny, what's his name, Vinny Politan, said that was a crocodile heave instead of crocodile tears. And I made the comment, crocodile heave sounds like an 80s metal band. So that's where crocodile heave comes from. Yeah, Dandy says the hairstyles, not so much. Oh my gosh. I went back, I found an old book, what am I trying to say? Photo album the other day of some, and on my phone, some that I put on my phone too, of from the 80s and early 90s. And oh my goodness, all you see is hair. It's like, what is it, Cousin It? That had just, all you could see was the hair. Oh, Dave says, thank you, Southern Gal. You're welcome for whatever. You're a good guy, Dave. Me and Dave go back a long way. From when I first got on, discovered the true crime YouTube world, and figured out very quickly who to listen, who to watch, and who not to watch, because there's the good ones and the bad ones. Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve from True Crime Web, who are two of my favorites and my inspirations. I would see Dave all the time in their chats, and in Mr. Steve, when he used to do his morning watch chats, I would see Dave. And so it's probably been almost a year now that I've been knowing of Dave. And then just lately we've kind of got to talking a little bit, and I didn't know for a long time until just maybe a month or so ago that Dave actually had a channel and did lives. So yeah, we love Dave. Dave's a great guy. Yes. Dandy Linus says that's a horrible case. Timothy succumbed to the torture. Oh God, that just, and that was another case until, once again, thanks to Dave for bringing, another case to my attention. This, Shonda, whatever her name was, Vander Ark, the mom, it doesn't matter what her name is. I don't care about her. That's how I learned about this case. And, just from the little I saw of what he was showing on his live. Oh my goodness. Anybody who, once again, it goes back to the, Savanah Soto and the baby. Anybody who could harm women, children, the elderly, anybody with diminished mental capacity, all the most vulnerable of our society, anybody who could hurt people like that, just there's a special place in hell for people like that. I know that's probably crude of me to say, but that's what I believe. So yeah, that Timothy, yep, that was his name. So sad. So thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that we've talked about tonight. If there's any other cases you guys want to talk about, we had the once again, and not going to get into politics of it, but just another school shooting. I think it was in Iowa. I can't remember the name of the town right now, but it was the closest city was Des Moines. I think it said one sixth grader was killed and five injuries, and then the offender took his own life. So that was another horrible thing. So thoughts and prayers to all those families too. All right, Dandy agrees with me. She said, yep, pick your seat in hell. You're not alone in that thinking. Thank you. because I believe, not to get religious or political, but I do believe that there is a higher power, and depending on your actions, whether you use them for good or use them for evil, that you make your choice about where you go when you pass on from this world. It is all up to you. All right. See if I missed any comments. Hope Dave is okay. He's out there driving. I hope he hadn't had a wreck from laughing and went off in a ditch somewhere. Dave, and if Dave is still listening, I don't know if he is or watching the replay, me and you are going to have to do a live one night. Right now, I'm up late nights too. I'd love to do a live with you. Come on, you're live, just to, not to be, well, probably to be silly, but be serious when we need to be talking about cases. So if you ever have any time to do that, just let me know. You can email me. I don't know if I've got I made banners, but I don't think I did one with my, oh, and while I'm at it, I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. You can, both of them are called Southern Gal True Crime, of course. You can just search, go to Facebook and search, and it'll come up. You have to join the group. Of course, it doesn't cost anything, but I think I might start, and I got to try to start, because I'm going to put stuff in the group and on the page that I don't put on YouTube. So you'll be getting stuff on there that you don't see here. And I'm thinking about maybe doing videos, and because on YouTube, I found that you have to be careful and be professional, which is, I agree with that, with what you say and do and how you handle things. But I'm thinking about doing some, because I do have another channel, but and if anybody wants to check it out, it's called Southern Gal Mysteries. I don't have a lot of stuff put up there, but it deals more with mysteries, paranormal, stuff like that. The weird stuff, as I call it, UFOs. But I was thinking about doing some videos and putting them on my Southern Gal Facebook group, that I can kind of be a little bit more looser and with my opinions, give some of my opinions that I wouldn't feel wouldn't be as professional as I try to be here on YouTube, and be I would be serious, of course, but anyway. Yeah, Dandy says she would also love to hear about the owls. Thank you, Dave. Dave said, awesome show. I'm glad you're still out there, Dave, checking on the owls. Take care of those owls, buddy. Like I said, I love critters. I'm a country girl. I grew up in the country, still live out here on the family farm. So we have all kinds of critters out here. That's a good point, Junior Johnson. Junior says, I was told believe in a higher power, just don't think it's you. Yep, you are not, none of us are the higher power. I said everybody has their own philosophies and religions, but yep, there's definitely a higher power, and it is nobody here, none of us here on this earth. Andy says, do you have Discord? It's a great place for sharing true crime and coming together uncensored to chat. No, I've heard of Discord, but I have not looked into it. Might have to look into that. Yeah, because I'm not monetized, I can't do like members only and stuff, which I wouldn't do anyway, because I want everybody not to have to pay to watch any of my little channel here. But sometimes when I'm doing these cases, I just want to say stuff and I have to bite my tongue, because I know because I want to be as professional and as unbiased and give both sides of stories. But yeah, it would be nice to have a place where I could give a little bit more of what I think and my opinions. But yeah, I'll check out Discord. I've definitely heard of it, so I'll check it out. Anything else? Anybody else wants? I can't talk. Let me get a drink. Maybe that'll help. And once again, maybe I should have put a little something in my drink besides sweet tea. I can't remember. Is there any other true crime going on in the news right now that I've forgotten about? Of course, we know about the a lone pony says, hi Southern Girl in chat, just wanted to say hello. I watch replay. Hello, thanks for coming in. Hey, watching replay is good. That helps just as much. And while you're here, please give a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. Anyone who's here that may be here, there's 6 people here that may not have been here before or who are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing. Checking the bell to all so you'll be notified when I upload new videos or schedule a live stream. Like my videos, share my videos, check out my playlist. Share me with any friends, family, true crime groups you might be in. All that kind of stuff helps small channels like mine. Supposedly the YouTube algorithm picks it up and does whatever it does. I don't understand all this technical stuff, but I'll take all the help I can get. I mean, you know, and just for the reason that not to get 1 million subscribers and so I can be monetized, but just the more subscribers I have and the more, excuse me, my supper's backing up on me. I apologize. That's very rude. The more subscribers, likes, shares I get, the more people see these cases that I share, the missing persons, the cold cases, all these smaller cases that don't get attention. And that is the goal of my channel, is for as many people as possible to see these stories, become familiar with them, share them in hopes of just keeping the victim. The most important thing is, or the ideal thing would be to get some resolution or help be a small part in getting some resolution for some of these cases. But at the very least, keep their victims' names out there so that they are never forgotten. So that is the whole purpose of my channel, is to keep the victims and the victims' families' names and stories out there so that nobody ever forgets them. And hopefully one day they will be able to hold on, let me get my notebook out again. Y'all giving me some more names and cases to look at. Dandelions, have you heard about Connor Crumrine out of Florida? It's a recent case and tragic. No, I have not heard of that one, but thank you, my dear. I will write it down. Give me a second. Connor. Trying to write without knocking everything off my little table here. Crumrine. In my old age, I can't see even with my glasses. Connor Crumrine from Florida. I will definitely look into it, Dandy. Thank you so much. I've got lots of stuff. Like I said, in case anybody came in late and missed it, tomorrow, I think either Michelle C or Dandy, or maybe both of you, requested the Diamond Bynum and King Walker case. I'm doing that. That is my live case of the week for tomorrow that I'm doing the live stream on. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. So please, if you're available, come and join me in discussing it. Let anybody that you know might be interested in it, let them know about it, so we can get as much exposure for this case as possible. Because like I said earlier, I'd heard of the case, but I didn't know the details, and I got into reading the details, which were horrible. But then I got to reading some of the things that were, I was going to say done, some of the things that were not done. that really bother me. And I don't know, and I don't want to get racial, but unfortunately it does make a difference. Race does make a difference sometimes in some of these cases about how they are handled and how much attention they get and how much that, and once again, I'm trying to say this without being, how much effort is put into actually finding people of color. That's the, hopefully, I don't want anybody to take offense, but that's the only way that I could find to put it. Unfortunately, we all know that, and we all know that sometimes more emphasis and effort is put on finding certain people than other people. And I'm not, and we'll get into it tomorrow night when what I'm talking about. Let's see. Dandy says not many people are talking about it. Are you talking about the Florida case? Yes, Dandy, that's what I was getting at. Dandy Lana says, yep, it's sad that melanin, which is skin tone, still makes a difference when it comes to urgency. Exactly. Because I don't know if I want to say something now or if I want to wait till, I'll just go ahead and say it now, and then just in case somebody's not here to see it tomorrow. One of the things that I read about the Diamond Bynum and King Walker case is that even though little King was 2 years old, Diamond, she was 21, but she had a disease. I forgot what it's called now, but anyway, she had the mental capacity of a 5 to 7 year old. There was no Amber Alert ever issued in this case, even though there was a 2-year-old child involved. 6 weeks after they went missing, they issued a Silver Alert, which is an adult alert, and the only reason they issued that was because of Diamond's condition. Her diminished mental capacity qualified her to be a candidate for a Silver Alert. I still do not know why they did not issue an Amber Alert when you had a 2-year-old child that was missing. I can understand because she was 21, but I can understand if she didn't have the diminished mental capacity. I could understand. Okay, the 2-year-old is with an adult who know. I mean, they could be fine, but I don't know why they did not take into consideration that she had diminished mental capacity of a 5 to 7 year old with a 2-year-old. How can that not qualify for some kind of emergency alert? I don't understand it. But anyway, we will discuss that more tomorrow night during the case. I'll be giving you the timeline of the case. I have an article, I believe I found. With I think it was, I'm looking it up. With Diamond's mom, and it was Diamond's mom and King's grandmother. It's the same person because Diamond and King were cousins, I believe. Anyway, I have an article, an interview with her that I want to read. It's just so heartbreaking. But always when I do my cases, I always try to find at least one article with an interview with a family member, just to because aside from the victim, the victims' families are the most important part of these cases, and it just broke my heart, and still breaks my heart. I'm just sitting here looking at the article here. That it's been they disappeared in 2015, so it's been 9 years because it's 2024 now. 9 years. They still have not been found. And there's another we'll go into, I'll save that for tomorrow night, but there's another statement that was made by police that infuriated me, but we'll go into that tomorrow night when we get into the case. Like I said, I'm not anti-law enforcement. I appreciate all our first responders, law enforcement, EMTs, military, but with this case, I just think things should have been done that weren't done, and I have a feeling it's because of the statement that Danny made and that I made. I agree with her. We agree with each other. I agree that that might have been maybe part of the reason, because it just makes no sense, and you'll understand. So please tune in tomorrow night for this case, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. We're just a little over an hour in. Anybody else got any comments or suggestions or anything? Trying to think if there's any other oh, me and Dandy. I think me and Dandy are going to be best friends. Dandelion says, I'm not anti-LE, I'm anti-lazy. Do your jobs to the best of your ability. Thank you. That's what you put it so much better. That's what I was trying to get at, but I couldn't get the words out. Sometimes my mind works a little slow. That's what I'm getting at. Do your jobs. And for the most part, 99.99% of law enforcement do care and do their jobs to the best of their ability. But sometimes there's that little 1 or 2% that either because of what we talked about earlier or just being lazy, they just don't put. And it's not law enforcement, it's the individual. It's not law enforcement in general, it's the individuals. But yeah, it's just, thank you, Dave. Dave said, great show. Hey, like I told you, I just go on a wing and a prayer, buddy. I just turn the camera on and hope for the best. But I'm glad you like the show. I love your shows too. The next time you have a live, if I'm awake, I'll join you. I know what tomorrow's Friday, right? I'll be doing my live, like I said, at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, oh my goodness, what is my phone doing? What is going on?